We are going to attempt to take a ride in this bus that came from College Station. What happened?
I think it might be out of fuel.
Try to crank it.
Oh no, it's definitely out of fuel.
We're out of fuel.
Yes. Like I said, we haven't really done anything here all winter. I'll have to straighten that out another time.
Did we lose our prime or did it run out of fuel?
Just ran out of fuel.
Do any of the buses have fuel?
Now, the one behind it does. Like I said, unfortunately, it's been a long winter and no
So this guy, I've been in this bus before, haven't I?
This one has plenty of fuel.
Let's try this one.
Yep. This is the one that Ben and Elise
Donated? Wait, doesn't Ben or Elise have a bus that has some problems?
They have one of these. It's not the same one, but yeah, they've been having to sort through it mechanically.
Let's bring this. I'm going to film the engine starting. Good morning. Here we go. Hopefully have a bus that runs down here. You have to start from the rear? Hey, they've been sitting all winter. They might need a little bit of work.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, Freddie, need me to hold it up?
Well, hold on.
Oh. Okay. Don't want to kill you, Freddie.
You almost did. Oh, that's what it is.
See if you can start it from back here. I almost killed poor Freddie with the hood. Yep. Try again.
Well, this is clearly an embarrassing situation.
Let me see something here.
I think I remember.
Let me try something here. Hold on.
The starter's gone out. You hear it?
It's not engaging. We had to do this. Let me just. We had to do this with one of our old buses. Let me.
Right. This is a new thing. It just started doing.
I'm just trying to play with the solenoid a few times.
Yeah, that starter's done, dude. There's nothing we can do.
All right, so this one's down. We may not have a bus that runs today. Yeah, okay, anyone watching this video, this is just showing, if you're local to Roanoke and have time, we need help down here.
Time.
You said we have one more bus that might run?
Might. No promises. They will all run. We just need to get back together and get some work done on all of them collectively. This is what happens when you let equipment sit.
Unfortunately.
Yes. like people, these buses need love. But here's a treat for you. My personal favorite, a 1974 GMC fishbowl.
That one does run.
In theory. Let's see if it depends on its mood.
Where are we going?
Well, I've got to turn on the battery real quick.
We can't.
At this point, I don't think we're going to get to take anything out today, but you can at least see them.
Oh yeah.
And one good thing is I can show you the Busum, which is actually right downstairs from the elevator museum.
All right.
Which will still be going in something vintage. It'll just be slant 6 powered.
That's no problem.
Yeah. Well, this one is cold natured.
So this will be a nice cold start.
This is pretty much a big dart. I had to work with that thing to get it running.
Unfortunately, we're not going to get to drive anything because we can't get them out. That thing came right to life. Yeah, you can go ahead and kill it if it needs fuel.
Kill is probably not a great word of reference.
Hey, that thing started right up.
Yeah, I've been working on this guy a little bit over the winter to keep him up. And as you can hear, he is not feeling this weather. But we know at least it'll move.
Yes.
Sounds like fuel starvation.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like a giant Dodge Dart. It'll run all day. You just got to work with it in the cold start.
Ooh. Oh, blew a gasket there. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, this guy right here is Freddie. He's a longtime friend of mine. I met him through this museum, and we've been friends since like 2013.
Oh yeah.
So 12 years.
Yeah, we go way back, like the seats of Cadillac.
Yep.
When the museum started in 1999, when CC&T got started, I was the youngest founding board member. I was 22. Now I'm 48, so I'm the oldest guy on the board.
As far as seniority goes, Fred has been involved with this museum longer than anyone else that's currently involved. Although Bev still, while not officially involved, he helps us out some.
He really does. I talked to him yesterday.
I mean, Bev is a great dude.
I mean, this is his baby, and he wants, you know, he's glad to see us keep it going.
Well, like I said, I mean,
we just got to find more people to help us keep it going.
I honestly wish I could do more, but with Zach, my job, and the elevator thing, I barely have time for that.
Right, and you know, now that I work in transit as a bus driver by profession, you know, we, like everybody else, are understaffed, you know, so I jump in quite a lot in the overtime board. Obviously, it pays off in certain ways because that makes me more fiscally able to help this museum, but physically able...
And that's my thing. I try to provide backdoor support. Like, I host board members and stuff like that, and I've donated a few times too.
Well, I mean, whatever door you find, come on in.
But let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have anything that's running today, so...
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
That one's out of fuel. That one won't start.
Preservation and continued existence is 90% of the game. See, they're all still...
They're here.
Nobody's shaved with them yet. And they're not gonna, as long as we're living and breathing.
Now, is the battery turned off on this one?
10-4.
Okay.
So Tristan Cunningham, our current president, has devised a system where we leave the 4-way flashers on here as a telltale sign.
So that way we know if batteries are connected.
Exactly. Which, Tristan, that was a great idea if you're watching. You've done a lot to help us. And
Oh God, yes. And well, we are going to get to ride in that right there,
oh, what would that be?
a vintage Dart.
Yep. 1975. It's my daily driver.
So we can go get those bus fares, and then we can go back to the apartment and then ride with you on your transit bus. I probably won't live stream on your bus because I don't want to like film everyone in Roanoke. I mean, if you do it out the window, that's different though. They don't care if you film out the window.
As long as we behave ourselves, so that way nobody looks at me and says, "Boy, that pizza guy looks familiar."
I'm going to be chauffeured. But yeah, this is a 1975 Dodge Dart.
Special edition. This was a high-end model for
Let's
75.
listen to it start up.
Here you go.
This is an awesome car.
Tell them about this starter, Andrew.
The Highland Park Hummingbird. One of my favorite starter motors ever.
My favorite. Well, my favorite, other than, you know, a Detroit diesel, obviously.
I also like the sound of the ones from the older Hondas too.
Oh, yeah.
They have a gear reduction starter as well.
And pardon the belts, I need to get those redone soon, but it does have a new engine as of last June, which has given it a 10% increase in horsepower and double the fuel mileage.
That's amazing.
Yep, 225 slant 6 engine.
Now I got a question for you guys on this live stream. How would you like to see me make a video of this car sometime? I know they're going to say they'd love it because they love it.
Well, and the car turns 50 years old on July 25th. My ultimate goal is to have it completely restored in time for its birthday. And in case you're wondering, it's still 49 and a half. We're not calling it 50 yet.
Yeah, these people definitely want to see me make a detailed video of this car.
Awesome. Glad y'all could come along for the ride. We'll be doing more cruising in the Dart soon.
Yeah, right now we're heading back to the apartment. Sorry we couldn't take a bus out, guys, because like I said, I mean, what's the saying, Freddie?
I say preservation and continued existence is 90% of the plan. Without that, you got nothing to fix up. The other 10% is actively preserving and getting your hands on it.
That's how my elevator museum is, although it's a lot easier to maintain because all it involves is changing out batteries sometimes.
So we need every one of you that's watching for that other 10%. That is crucial. People are essential. We don't have enough people on the ground. I can't do it all by myself. So I need your help. Those buses need your help. We need your help at Commonwealth Coach and Trolley Museum. Please come to Roanoke, Virginia. See us today. We do have what's called the Busum. It's a tiny house museum with archives and a gift shop. It's right downstairs from elevaTOURS Museum, which Andrew hosts. And also we do have some donation portals. We can get that to you.
Feel free to
Linktree. Look us up on
Feel free to
Linktree.
plug it on the live stream, Freddie.
Linktree, the Busum. Look up the Busum, Buseum. You can also search tag Commonwealth Coach and Trolley. Go to Linktree. That'll give you all of our Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all the things that you can help us monetarily preserve and restore these buses.
So yeah, as a board member myself, yeah, go and donate.
Yes, please.
Because, like I said, the Busum is an actual non-profit. So if you do donate, you can deduct it on your taxes.
By the way, Andrew, what time do we have for temporal sake?
It's 10:58.
Oh, word. So, we have a little bit of time to go check out the Busum en route to
The apartment.
Yes.
And then we'll ride the bus with you. And then after 1 p.m., guys, we can go to the go-kart track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
And I can eat the junk food out there that I wanted to eat.
There you go.
You can't go to a place like Thunder Valley without eating the junk food at the concession stand.
You know,
That's-
I've been trying since 1997 to get to that place. I've heard about it.
That's part of the fun of going to something like that, is eating the junk food at the snack bar.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to give up junk food for Lent, but that's good because I'm 5 pounds lighter now. Being a bus driver will make you very sedentary.
Yes.
So being a locomotive engineer.
I 160 to 190 in under a year.
Damn.
I haven't gained any weight from my vacation that I took. I'm doing good. My running is helping.
That's good, and it shows, Andrew.
I ran 6 miles yesterday.
Wow. So yeah, that is actually very inspiring. I'd like to get into more running and whatnot as the warmer weather. And
Hey,
of course,
Freddie, don't mean to interrupt you, but tell me if it's just me. Almost every time I turn left here, there's a car coming up and you have to wait for it. Oh my gosh, wow, it didn't happen. Normally, every time I try to turn left on Albemarle, you have to wait for a car to come out.
yeah, normally you got hungry hip on wheels coming at you.
Yeah.
That never happened for me.
Yes, I just have bad luck.
Well, I mean, I live on Albemarle on the other end, granted, but I guess I just have that clemency. Who knows? Which Albemarle Avenue is interesting. This is one of several streets that spans over from southeast into Old Southwest, which is my neighborhood, which is an historic district outside downtown Roanoke with some lovely architecture. It's a great, urban.
That's where Zach wants to live, and that's where Evie's Bistro and Bakery. I know the Busum supports them now.
Yes, and that is right around the corner from me. So convenient.
Amelia, the lady that runs that place, is one of the most beautiful people I've ever met.
They do have some really good people.
She is amazing.
When's the last time you saw a Mercedes limo? Wait, that's a Lexus. Never mind.
What is that? Is that
So,
because I've noticed those limos there lately.
evidently there is apparently there's a new limo service and that's a mixed-use lot where they store things. I would personally like to see us maybe store a couple buses there so we have something adjacent to the Busum location. But that's another story for another time, and of course I'd have to run it by the board, and we'd have to figure out if that's even feasible.
Yeah, because storage is expensive.
It is, but fortunately the folks here at Friendly Self Storage, yes, I'm going to plug them, have been really good to us.
Oh, they've been good to me too. They really like. Oh, by the way, they really like you guys.
That's good. Well, we like being here. They, it's really tied this together because before 2022, when we started reorganizing CC&T, we had no place to. Do you guys need any of your gear out of the trunk?
Are we coming back here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But from 1999 all the way to 2022, we had all these archives just kind of sitting in storage collecting dust. And people asked me for years, when can we see your stuff? Where do we see your gallery? When do we see your museum? And we had nothing nothing new to tell them until 3 summers ago, by way of Andrew's inspiration and also his introduction to the folks who run this. I was able to build a tiny house museum of sorts in.
I don't think I've ever showed this on a live stream before, so this will be good.
Yes, definitely.
No, we're not at the elevator museum is here, but we're not visiting that today.
That's upstairs.
We are, yeah. The elevator museum is upstairs, but we're going down here.
Yep. So it's great to have elevaTOURS and Andrew as a neighbor. That's for sure. Wow, that's a long pallet.
Just think if we got that unit right there, this big one.
Yeah.
You could park 2 buses in there. Of course,
Well,
getting them in the building.
I mean, I'd have to sign over a car title every month, but
Yeah.
we're not NPR, so we won't be doing that. Which, no smoking NPR. I might actually be donating my old Toyota Camry to keep their programs running because we need them now more than
Yes, the chat's working. I don't want to show the code to the lock.
ever.
so I'm putting it at the floor.
Or the logo.
But there is the logo right there, Commonwealth Coach.
And welcome to the Busum.
Oh, nice.
So let's get some lights here. Again, Andrew, you very much inspired the lighting and the layouts. And Heath Dunleavy, who is one of the managers here, was kind enough to not only allow use of the electricity within reason, but donated this display case for a lot of these archives you see.
Heath is awesome. He is awesome. He took them up into the motor room here the other day.
Man, he's always looking out. It's great people.
So yeah, if you're in Roanoke and are looking to store stuff, definitely recommend Friendly Self Storage.
And it's right off 581, so you have
Location,
great access.
location.
Yep. And so the first thing that'll greet you, this is what I call the TARDIS. For obvious reasons, it looks like a blue spinning phone booth. It used to be a watch case in a department store in the 80s, and this was donated by friends of the family. In fact, a neat thing, not only did it was scratched, I recovered it in New York City Transit's exterior grade vinyl. This is what went on their RTS buses when they were in service on the Striker. This right here is a graphic that I did replicate the police booth placard on the TARDIS in the Doctor Who series. For those of you familiar with BBC, Peter Davison, the Fifth Doctor, signed this for me in 2013 when I went to a local con called Mysticon.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so I've loanated. This is a new word. I've loanated a lot of my personal collection. I mean, I'm just kind of putting it on loan to display. It's not permanently donated, but you can see some of the models. This Orion 1 and this Orion 5 are Dash Alexandria buses. I made those out of solid resin, designed them by hand, long before 3D became a thing, which thankfully it has. And then also got some Dash swag from actual Dash. This is that is a New Flyer Excelsior. Beside it is an electric articulated New Flyer Excelsior, and then this is an electric Proterra bus, and that's the electric demo that they ran in 2018. These are made by Iconic Replicas. Jeff Silver and his team have done a wonderful job of those, I must say. And then these are little squishy buses. That's an Orion 5. That's probably the most prototypical I've ever seen of these little soft buses.
By the way, people are saying that this is awesome. The people watching this are saying
Thank
that this
you.
is awesome.
And if you guys want to donate, feel
Here,
free.
let me get this. All right, those watching the replay of the stream, pause here, and these are the links if you want to help out us here at Commonwealth Coach and Trolley. There, that's on
Thank
the
you.
live.
And then we also have right here in this curio cabinet. I'm slowly but surely putting these together. I've been the legacy curator, and now I'm also vice president of historical operations. But enough about me. Let's talk about the stuff. So up here, this is a model that I did of a 1958 Roanoke City bus. Roanoke City Lines got these. These were the first diesel-powered coaches to run in Roanoke. We recently got our first electric-powered Gillig buses, and we'll get to that at another time. Underneath of it is a swath of metal that came from the original bus number 102. We had it beautifully restored, but consequently a fire took that and our building down and most of our buses down in 2017.
I remember that.
Yep.
Halloween.
This emblem here is from a 1969 GMC fishbowl that ran for Valley Metro. That was donated by a fellow Valley Metro employee that found it at a antique shop. Sorry. And then, well, this is really neat. Oh, you can see the little Roanoke City Market building, and there's a little N-scale 1958 GM bus. And
People are following our Facebook page, they're saying.
cool. While we're in the tiny bus department, if anybody's seen the movie Speed, you might recognize it. This is a GM fishbowl This one's a special one. I actually customized this to be number 5180, which also ran at Santa Monica and was the last GM New Look bus built in 1986 by GM of Canada.
I assume it lights up.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh, cool. The headlights come on.
Yep. And like a real fishbowl, one headlight's a little brighter than the other.
That's cool.
And you got the little taillights. You can, kind of...
Where'd that come from? That's just neat.
Thank you. So I found this on eBay. I forget which seller it was.
Did you light it up or was it already lit up?
I went ahead and rigged up the 9-volt. This was actually a backup battery port from a microwave oven, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I just wired it in. It comes pre-wired to one end, but it didn't have an actual switch to plug in, so I put the two together. This is an emblem from a 1976 flexible bus that ran for Valley Metro. It was their first new bus purchase in 76. That came from bus number 179, which is my personal favorite. I grew up riding them. They looked similar to this, but longer with a little different styling. Unfortunately, that burned up in 17. You can see the burn marks on the emblem. This was all chrome, and so it kind of made an inlay, which kind of makes the lettering stand out, but that's literally the only piece we were able to save from that bus, and that was a very emotional time, but as you can see, we're still kicking. This is an MCI MC9 Bonanza bus from about 1979 or 80. It's a bank. When I was little, these ran down here in Roanoke quite a bit. And then here's the Krispy Kreme Cruiser, a 1960 flexible Starliner. Then I've seen the real bus in DC at Hard Rock Cafe. They take this around to like promotional events. Anytime they open a new Krispy Kreme donut store, there's the bus. This holds true, not gonna lie.
Yep, Freddie is a bus boy. Someone on the live stream said you're a bus boy.
What can I say? And then this is a license plate frame from a Gillig Phantom bus. I'm pretty sure we have at least one of these left over in our gift shop if somebody wants to purchase one. I seem to recall it's like $20 per and $30 for a pair if we can find them. If you want to put a Gillig license plate frame on your car, that's a way to do it. And then we also have these Gillig Phantom Dash bus
That's pretty cool.
pieces. It's not a lapel pin per se. You would have to...
Stick it onto something.
Yeah. So if you want to put it like a hat or something like that. We have several of these that Dash was gracious enough to donate to us. These were among the last Gillig Phantoms ever made. They're $5 a piece if you want to hit up our gift shop. And so...
I assume this stuff is available online.
Yes. Now, these themselves are archives and personal stuff. But just those two things outlined. We'll get to the gift shop here in a moment. Here's a fare box donated by Dash in Alexandria. They are now a fare-free system because they got the funding to do that. But
How
this
all
is
transit should be.
right. It definitely, as an operator, I'll tell you, it would definitely save on dwell time. But the thing is, you have to be able to allocate the funds to make that happen. So this is the gift shop. If anybody wants to take a bus home, we got all kinds of stuff. We got a Corgi New York Bus Service fishbowl. Comes with the original box. These were made in 1996 and are a little hard to come by. We also have the Reading Railroad GM fishbowl. Very nicely done.
What are they asking for these?
So at the moment, these would be $75 a piece. And again, these are donated to us. Ain't nobody making money off of it. Every penny, every dollar goes to keeping all of this alive and keeping the real buses alive, so maybe they can be a little more alive the next time you see them.
Yeah, we'll actually get to run one.
And then this is a Continental Trailways Silver Eagle tin toy friction bus from the 60s. That's a neat little guy right there. At this point, if anybody wanted to buy that from the gift shop, that would be a $50 piece. Was trying to get more, but no takers. But it's very hard to find one, let alone in this good a shape. We also have, this is a Boston MTA Mini Metals GM Old Look bus. Suggested donation for that guy is $40. We have a little Union 76 Doodlebug bus. That one would be 15 from the gift shop. We have the John Madden Cruiser. As you can see, it's from 1992. This is an MCI bank. That's a $30 piece in the gift shop. If anybody wanted to take it home and support CC&T. We got several things. We got Hot Wheels buses. Now these are cool. This is called the Ain't Fair. Get it? These are shaped after New Flyer LF buses, and right now we're asking $5 a piece for those on the gift shop.
Plus shipping.
Exactly. Thank you, Andrew. And they also come with a little bike rack with little bikes on them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the detail. We also have nifty things like Blacksburg Transit bus magnets. Those were graciously donated to us. We have some of the iconic replicas, the Chicago CTA RTS transit bus.
That's cool.
We also have the Korea Greyhound GM PD 4104. For those of you that are bookworms, in the gift shop, you can buy an Orion 5 operator's manual, Gillig Phantom, and some others.
Now, okay, what's the link that they can go buy this stuff at?
So we have not yet set up a gift shop so that gift shop store or link online. This is just to give you some example. So if you go to our link tree, which had the entire donation panel that Andrew just showed you a few minutes ago, if you message us, just say, hey, I'm interested in X and X thing that Fred showed us on the gift shop side, then let us know what you're eyeballed and we can go from there. And here's a few more of the gift shop.
Oh, we have to show this. There's a plug to the elevator museum down here.
And I made double sure to put something because Andrew, you've been very supportive. There's a little DieselDucy to kind of give you an idea of who and what we're talking about. Definitely recommend elevaTOURS. It is a
same building.
yes, same building, different level. It'll take you to a whole new level because you get to ride a 1947 Salem freight elevator up there. So you can, in theory, you could ride a vintage bus here to see the museum and then ride a village elevator upstairs to see the elevator museum. Well, let's get to the archive some more. So, this is nifty. When I was a little kid, I stood under the sign a lot.
And what's really cool is they gave me one of those, and I have one.
Yeah.
Hey, that would be a good thing to display on the elevator museum.
This is from 1978. This is one of the first Valley Metro bus stop signs. Valley Metro, by the way, has turned 50 years old this month. They took they went public in 1975. Took over the old Roanoke City lines, which was a private-run bus services, and like many transit services, because it's not profitable per se. Nobody's making money off of you with that bus fare you drop in the box. It became very clear that public transit had to be public funded, state, local, fed, you name it, and so. This is the 50th anniversary of Valley Metro in the public iteration, whereas public transit in Roanoke dates back to 1887, which started with mule-drawn trolleys, if you can believe it. And we had electric streetcars on the road till 1948, and then gas and diesel buses started replacing them. That looks kind of like the one behind this guy. So getting to more of the archive. Speaking of Roanoke transit history, here's a photo from 1940 of the Roanoke Railway and Electric RR&E drivers and administrative staff. And you can see we were not quite as diverse yet as we thankfully are today. Going to that note, every year there is a Transit Equity Day that is hosted by Valley Metro and Bragg. That's Bus Riders of Roanoke Advocacy Group. We'll give you more information on them in a minute. To honor Rosa Parks and her stand for civil rights on public transit. And for those of you who don't know, we had our own Rosa Parks named Margie Jumper. So Margie took her stand in 1946, which was 9 years before Rosa. Now, that is not to discount what Rosa did, obviously, but Margie made her own stand in 1946 on a streetcar on Campbell Avenue in downtown Roanoke. And here's the information on that as well. Currently, there's been talk of renaming the new 3rd Street bus station after Margie Jumper, which I personally support.
That would be good.
But that's just going to take some time and process. Again, you can see show your support piece. Not to harp on that too much, but it does keep us running. And over here, a memoriam for Harry Messimer. He was one of our founding board members in 1999. Great guy, was very supportive of us. And actually, I got a few of these tin buses down here from his estate. But he put a lot of time and process into not only this museum, but building a bus gallery at the Virginia Museum of Transportation, one of our sibling museums here in the Roanoke Valley. So in here, these are some tin toy friction buses right over here to the left. These were made in Japan in the 1960s and look surprisingly like the American buses that they emulate. This is my pride and joy. That is about a
Ticket puncher.
Well, yes, there is that from about that period. And then we have a tin friction fishbowl from about 1960 or 61. It still has a working friction motor. I added detail. I added the fleet numbers, the destination. I also added 3D printed wheels and tires to make it look more like the real thing. And beside it, you saw 161 earlier, the 74 fishbowl that ran for about 30 seconds, just to let us know it's still here. Harry Messimer gave this to me while he was still living it, and so I actually reworked it with vinyl wrap and some new wheels and tires to make it look like the real 161. I also added an AC unit that I carved from a sleeper cab truck about the same scale. And then beside it is an AB&W fishbowl. It was originally United Airlines, as you can see, but I did the Alexandria, Barcroft, and Washington paint scheme, similar to a 1962 model that we restored back in the day, that is still on display at the VMT Virginia Museum of Transportation. Speaking of AB&W, there's a schedule from 1971. They were one of several private transit operations that worked in Washington, D.C. and its suburbs before Metrobus took over in 1973. There's a poster from 2023 of their 50th anniversary. You can see how their transit, their buses, and their services have evolved over time, just in that little snapshot.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then here's another thing that we do offer. We got a couple of these left in the gift shop for $10 each. You can take home a reprint of a 1950s BTCO Baltimore bus transit car card sign that went up in the ad racks inside the bus over the passengers. And right here is this is a change. That is a change holster from about the 40s that belonged to a Roanoke City bus operator. Here are some cardboard folded promotional buses. Those kind of tell the story and promoted transit. They've been given out by different agencies, including Charlottesville, Atlanta, Lancaster, PA, New York City, Washington, D.C.
Well, this stuff is really cool.
Thank you.
And anyone that visits the Elevator Museum and wants to see this, I can bring them down here.
Please do. And then down here we have an old bus stop sign from about the 1980s from Central Maryland, back there with the RTS on it. This is a 6-car consist I did of squeezy Metro cars. That looks like their legacy Roar fleets. And I've actually got that and this 1940s DC Transit streetcar model sitting on vintage Lionel 8 O-scale track for full effect. And then beside that is a 1959 GM Fishbowl. That was one of the very first new look buses delivered, and it went to Washington, D.C., just 4 hours north of us. And I do have Ben Schuman and Elise Horvath. You may know them. They found this vintage 1950s, 60s or so giant plastic Greyhound Cena Cruiser and donated it to the archives. Now, we did have a real 1955 Cena Cruiser
Burned up.
that was beautifully restored outside. We were getting ready to rework the inside. We just brought it back from a road trip to Evansville, Indiana, and consequently, a few weeks later, it burned up inside the building when the fire happened. Oh yes, real quick, 1940s or 1920s Brill. That is an operating H.O. Bachmann streetcar that, yes, that I repainted in the old Roanoke colors. They had them in cream and red, cream and orange, cream and green. And then this is a Rosa Parks bus, which is identical in make and model to the 102. That's the real 102 that Margie rode once the streetcars ran away. Speaking of photos, here's the photo wall. Got some neat stuff here. This is what Valley Metro looked like when I was a kid. Our newest and sleekest buses were the 1979 Grummins. Beside it is a 76 Flexible, which was my favorite. And then here's the 1969 GM Fishbowls that GMC emblem came from. These were Roanoke City Lines units repainted in Valley Metro's colors when they went public in 75. Here's a Fairfax Connector Orion 1. We have number 7754 from that fleet, the Matt bus, which is slightly converted inside and really well done by Fairfax Connector. It's in their newer condiment paint scheme, which looks like mustard yellow, ketchup red, a little white mayonnaise down the side. And it's the only Orion one to ever feature those colors. This is a Lynchburg GMC fishbowl. It had an interesting front door design that was more like its old look predecessors. Here's a Greyhound bus station in the 1930s.
Where would that be located, do you know?
That's a good question. Aha. New York City, 1936.
Oh, cool. Look at this old Blacksburg transit
Yep,
bus.
that's a 1977 Flexible. When BT started in 83, they got used buses from all over. That originally came from, I believe, Bluefield or Clarksburg, West Virginia. Ran for them for a few years before they replaced it with new buses. I'd love to find one of these, by the way. And then here's a Monterey Salinas, California, 1979 Grumman. That's an original promo postcard from when
There's the Penn Tran, which we lost.
Yes, we had a 1976 Flexible New Look 8V71 Detroit. Ran like a top and beautifully restored, and then fire took it away. This is a 30-foot. Oh,
We have that stamp.
yes, this is a 30-foot spec, 29-foot 1973 GMC fishbowl. We nicknamed ours the Great Pumpkin because of the orange and roundiness. Here's an Orion 5. This is one of the baby 30-foots that they used on smaller routes in DC. And here is, we had a 1966 GM 5303 fishbowl.
Another bus we lost in the fire.
Beautifully restored, and it was actually in a Mary Tyler Moore movie called Finnegan Begin Again. Had over 1 million miles on it. Presumably its original drivetrain, but still ran. And it was running when the fire ate it up, very unfortunately. And we have several other things. This is a Grumman Metro. That was a demo when they were crossing over from Grumman 870 to Flexible Metro. It had these squared off RTS style fenders, which thankfully didn't make it to the final design that looked more like this one. I actually saw that running in Williamsburg in 1987. That's where it ultimately ended up until it was retired. And then here's Pendleton Bus Lines. This is a private bus service. They bought this bus from Valley Metro about 1976 and ran it a few years in the colors you
That's
see.
Charlottesville.
Yep, that's Charlottesville when they first started out as CTS. That's an old 1960s GM old look that was still made available for smaller transits when new looks were normalized. And up here, this is really cool. This is a beach towel from Tidewater Metro Transit out in coastal Virginia. They ran in Norfolk. This is a flexible new look.
People are saying they remember reading a book about Rosa Parks, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, there's certainly a tale to tell about Margie Jumper. She, give you an idea. Not only did she stand up and say, stand up for transit equity in the 40s on that streetcar in Roanoke, she also served on the executive committee of our local branch of NAACP. She spoke out against apartheid in South Africa in the 1980s. So, and she's a great, lovely friend and neighbor to everyone that knew her, including Jordan Bell, who is our African American history guru right here in Roanoke. He's written several books. Great guy. We actually did a Gainsborough historic tour with him when we first got our MCI bus a couple of years ago.
Well, I'm going to say I think this is really cool how this live stream has basically turned into a tour and what we have to offer at Commonwealth Coach. And obviously, I'm involved in this museum,
and we're thankful.
So yeah, and like I said, those of you watching the replay, you can rewind. We desperately need money. I'm not begging for elevaTOURS. I don't e-beg for elevaTOURS because I'm not a nonprofit, but this is a nonprofit.
And
so
I'm not trying to sell little bus gadgets or anything, but we appreciate you. None of that goes in my pocket or anybody else's. It goes straight into the funds to keep.
And this is a legitimate.
alive.
This is a legitimate 501c3.
We have been since 1999.
So yeah, I'll tell you what. We should start heading out here in a minute.
Yep.
But on the way out, we can take them on a ride we can take the live stream on a quick elevator ride, and then we'll leave.
It will have to be quick so I can get you guys bus passes and report in exactly 30 minutes.
Yeah, we have plenty of time.
We got
to
a
do
lot of
that.
ground to cover. I'm going to shut this down for now. Thank you all for coming, and come see us in Roanoke at CC&T.
People said you were a great tour guide.
Well, thank you. I just ad-libbed the whole thing, by the way.
We're going to ride the elevator real quick, then we're going to cut this live stream because we're going to run to the apartment really quick and use the toilet.
Oh, man, now I got to go, too.
You can use the toilet at the apartment.
Well, I'd have to basically suit up and run. I guess I could call and see if they'll just let me report at 3rd Street. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that.
So we'll take them on a really quick elevator ride, and then we'll leave. This place is like a Pac-Man maze. I think it's down this corridor right here. Yep, we just toured Commonwealth Coach and Trolley Museum. We'll take these people on a really quick elevator ride, then we'll go.
Hey Matt, it's Fred. Quick question. I'm hosting a couple of friends in from Europe, and they're actually staying next door to 3rd Street. Would it be at all possible for me to just report there for 12:15? At 3rd Street Station. Because I actually have to drop them off over
All right, so guys, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, I'll see you soon.
Is everything okay?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to end this live stream. Freddie, thank you for hosting our tour of the museum.
No problem.
And Ewan and Alex, it's always great to have y'all along, and I'm sure we'll do some more live streams with these guys before they leave. So that was fun. So until next time, bye, y'all. There, I hung